So, our next speaker on the subject again of how to successfully brand your business, automate, and all that good stuff. We have an awesome speaker today. She is not only hilarious, but she's a wonderful lady. Her name is Annabelle Beckwith, and she's been a business consultant and coach and trainer for over 20 years, working with entrepreneurs and business owners. And Fortune 100 companies all around the world. She specializes in working with people as human beings first, building individual clarity, confidence, and capability before working on their business goals and aspirations in both a strategic and practical way. Her career has also included work in daytime TV production and in PR marketing as head and development of public affairs at the Royal Scottish Academy of Music and Drama. She is the best-selling author of Get Your P's in a Row, 5 Key Factors to Propel Your Business Forward, which focuses on key principles for personal and entrepreneurial growth. And she co-authored Dream Big, Do Bigger, and Women Disruptors in Business. Annabelle is the proud mother of 2 20-somethings, lives in Scotland, and works internationally. So thank you so much for joining us, Annabelle.
Hello. Thank you so much for that lovely introduction there, Adriana. And good evening, everybody from Scotland. My work focuses on leadership development and business growth. And today I'm going to talk to you about something very, very practical. And that is about how to position yourself as a thought leader and your business as the go-to through PR. So 5 top tips. Now, the first one is be really clear about what are your objectives for PR. What are your objectives for getting coverage, whether it's online or offline. And when I say what are your objectives, I don't mean I want to be featured in such and such a magazine, or I want to have a press release appearing here or there online. I mean, what do you want that press coverage to do for you and your business? What is the result that you want beyond the publication itself? Do you want to position yourself as a commentator on sector issues, as a thought leader? Do you want to highlight a new innovation with your company? Are you wanting to highlight a success that you have achieved with and for your client? Is that something that you want to herald? Think really carefully. What is it that you want this coverage to do for your business beyond the press release itself? The second thing to think about is the publication that you're actually pitching to. Now, make sure that you really know and understand that publication. What's the tone of voice that it uses? What's the way in which it communicates? What's its style? What are the expectations of its readers? Stalk the editors online. Have a look. Do your research. Look at Amazon and look online. There are publications for pretty much everything that you can think of. When I was working in PR many years ago, there were publications for wastewater treatment and still water trout angler, Plastic and Rubber Weekly. It's all there. It's all there. You will find a publication that is absolutely right for your market. And actually, this leads me to a bit of an insider tip here, because quite often we will gravitate towards the publications that we ourselves want to be seen in, the big splashy names that look good on our websites. The smart money is actually in niche publications, as I believe you say, your side of the Atlantic, niche publications, sector-specific publications that might be a bit more obscure. Those are the ones that people are reading. So look for the obscure publications. You'll find it far easier to stand out in a very niche publication than clamoring along with everybody else on something that's got a broader remit. So if you work with a lot of dentists, then Dentistry Today, Dental Practice Monthly, those types of publications, look for those. That is where the secret money is. Don't overlook those publications that might not be quite so sexy and glamorous, but that's what people are actually reading. Now, my third point is so crucial that if you remember nothing else of what I say today, please remember this. What's the story? People who you are pitching to, journalists, editors, they are looking for a story. Now, sadly, and I count myself in this, none of us are that interesting that saying author writes new book is going to cut the mustard when it comes to something newsworthy. Unless you're Michelle Obama or J.K. Rowling or somebody. We have to be current and relevant. So by all means, talk about your thing, but make it current and relevant. Now, a couple of things that you can do there is peg it onto the news. What have you heard that's going on at the moment? In the light of recent legislation on XYZ, in the light of a government announcement on blah, blah, blah. Maybe it's the anniversary of something. On this, the anniversary of the Gettysburg Address, and something that is relevant, obviously, to the themes of the Gettysburg Address. Don't make it completely irrelevant. Look also at our celebrations. Well, International Women's Day is not an obscure celebration, but that's the sort of thing. There's an internationally or nationally recognised event that you can pin your press release onto. There will be random things. I remember getting a lot of PR for a chef who was assembling a dessert because it was Bramley Apple Week. I know, go figure. Look for things like that. There's bound to be National such and such a week, International Day of the whatever. What will make your story interesting and relevant and current? Now, another insider tip here. What you can do also is, once you've identified your target publications, get in touch with them and ask for an editorial schedule or a forward planning schedule. Sometimes they'll call it an advertising schedule. Now, what this will do is set out thematically what that magazine is going to be talking about, what that publication is going to be talking about in the coming months. So if you're in real estate, you might discover that, for example, July is going to have a feature on holiday homes. Great. You can be thinking, what can I pitch that is relevant to that theme? Maybe in March, they're looking at renovating your home for profit. Ideal. It gives you something to pin your own press release on. The advantage of doing that is that you are entering a conversation that they are already having. You're entering a subject that's already in their head. You're not having to spend energy going, look at me, to try and win them over to your story. Point number 4 is know the difference between a press release, a news release, and an article submission. I'm not talking about article submissions. I'm talking about submitting something that's current that will get you coverage pretty quickly. And if you look at newspapers and the way in which they structure their stories, that tends to be a formula to follow. Now, I do have a little bit of a cheat sheet that goes with this that just outlines that and gives a very, very brief outline of a suggested structure. So do get in touch by email through my website. I'll give you the details at the end of this if you would like that cheat sheet. Basically, it needs a snappy headline, something that's going to grab the attention of the editor, the journalist, when you slide into their email in tray, and then a subheading that is going to give them the essence of your story, and then you go into the main body of your story. Now, when you've written all that, it's absolutely crucial, you would not believe how many people forget this, to put editor's notes underneath that. And in those editor's notes, you're going to be giving them your contact details and additional information. So-and-so is available for interview or comment, photographs available on request, maybe a short bio or something of that sort, something that is going to enable the journalist or the editor to get in touch with you. Now, once you've got your coverage, that, of course, isn't the end of it. It's really important that you monitor what that coverage is doing for you. If you've set clear objectives at the outset, that is going to be easier to do. And squeeze the heck out of it. Use that PR, share links with your potential clients and clients, blast it all over social media, squeeze every last inch of publicity that you can from that. And also, insider tip number 3, don't forget to thank the journalist who wrote the piece or the editor who published the press release. Particularly with journalists, oftentimes they're freelancers and they might be working for several publications. If you are useful to them and you're a nice person to work with, they may well be in touch in the future for future articles and so on. So that was a whistle-stop tour, a very practical look at 5 things you can be doing to position yourself as a thought leader and your business as the go-to within your sector. If you would like to connect with me, please do so via my website, which is at yara-journeys.com, or on LinkedIn. I'm on all the social media. And if you would like a copy of that cheat sheet, again, contact me via my website or on LinkedIn, and I'll ping it across.
Yay, that was awesome. Thank you so much, Annabelle. You're an amazing, I love how quickly you broke everything down. You hit the whys, you hit the hows, and everything in between. So thank you so much, Annabelle. I really appreciate it. We're going to this actually leads into our next speaker. She is also in the PR field and industry. So I'm really excited to get another perspective on this topic. We're going to be introducing Charissa Lauren. She is reputedly known for her creativity and ability to connect and position professionals. She has spent 11 years as a brand and public relations consultant, starting her first business at the young age of 22. She specializes in creative brand consulting and public positioning, exceeding her client expectations with innovative brand awareness techniques. She is passionate for entrepreneurship on all the levels and is working to become a multifaceted serial entrepreneur to assist the business world on every angle. In addition to her PR company, Charissa Lauren Collective LLC and Fame by Charissa Lauren, she's expanding her education in real estate, property investments, and creating a lifestyle brand. She is the mother of 2, and together they enjoy traveling, crafting, baking, and adventuring. So welcome to the stage, Charissa Lauren. Thank you, Charissa.
Hi, Adriana. Hi, Hannah. Thank you guys so much for having me. I'm really excited to help share a few tips in my about 12 years in business now. I've been in PR for about 12 years. I'm actually known as the humanizer of the PR world. And that's because I really stress and emphasize the importance of humanizing who you are behind your business. So before people even sit down with me, when they're interested in stepping up their PR game, I always use the quote, "It's not the business that will sell the business. It is the person behind the business that's going to sell the business." So I really focus on bringing that you aspect into storytelling, because that is what PR is. It's storytelling. It's the connecting point between your customer, your client, and yourself. I think PR is the service that best and most effectively sells you to the public. It's commonly said that it's more effective than advertising, because at the end of the day, an ad is gone in a click, I always say. When you're sharing your story, you're making a lasting impact. So when I first started in PR, it was simply writing a good story and pitching to an editor to bring you awareness. Now PR covers a variety of services. You really need social media, PR outreach, newsletter, events. And today I kind of want to talk about my 9 insider secrets that will really boost your business on a public level. And the first one is quarterly photo shoots, not yearly. Many people make this mistake. Everything has gone digital within the last 5 to 10 years, Instagram, TikTok. I really express how important it is to have content and really getting those quarterly photo shoots on your calendar so that you continuously are showing face behind your business and you're continuously showing people who you are. I don't stick to this rule typically myself, but I do emphasize this for clients. Show people who you are in your business and do so with photo shoots. The second one I always emphasize is social media posting. This is something we also offer to our clients. Nowadays, it's something we all can't avoid, right? You have to be posting 2 to 3 times a week. And stories, I always say, do daily stories. And don't just post photos anymore. Do live videos. Talk to your audience, communicate with your audience. Your brand wants to see who you are, whether that's TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook Live. Engaging with your audience is a third tip. You actually have no idea how important it is to just simply respond to every comment that you get. Why? Why do we respond to every comment? Because actually when you're responding and you're not only giving your business a person behind the business, but it actually boosts your posts so that it's more visible on the ever streaming feed of Instagram and Facebook. Before taking a brand public, something that I always talk to my clients about are the branding. And everyone who watches and tunes into the summit today, I have a free branding checklist, and these are all the branding steps to take before you're ready for PR. One of them is, do you have a professionally branded website? it's amazing how many people are not aware of how important it is to have a professionally branded website and polished social media sites. If you are going to be placed in the news, they're going to need a web link. And a lot of people could potentially be trafficked to your website now. So you want to make sure that that's representing you in the best light possible. Bi-weekly newsletters. I know that there are several that I follow, whether it's other marketing and PR professionals that I love. Make sure that your content is readable. People go for content that is something that they want to hear and learn from. So whether that's offering a different tip bi-weekly or just tuning in and giving them some notice of what your company is doing, make sure that that content is always there. So in my PR plans, I always say have an ongoing press and media plan. Every year in January, what you should be doing is getting out a calendar, writing down specific targeted holidays and ways that you could angle yourself in press. You need a consistent press and media plan if you're going to succeed with PR. Strategy is everything. Now this one's important. This is the next one, and it's actually creating video content for social media. If you guys haven't noticed, TikTok, Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels have kind of become the new photo, specifically in the last 2 years. Videos are 7 times more likely to be seen than photo content right now. So I would definitely recommend, if you have it within budget, work with a videographer to really position your message with social media. Reels and TikToks are the whole mood right now. This one is so important, and She Rises does such a great job with doing this, but collaborate with other businesses, other professionals, and influencers. My favorite phrase is collaboration over competition. You will never lose out by collaborating. Collaborate with as many people as you possibly can. It's the virtual way of networking. Finally, one very important step in PR is have a key charity and donation plan in place, or at least know your values in your business and show your values in your business. Again, this is a big part of the humanizing aspect of showing who you are, what you care about, what your beliefs are within your company, and who you are as a professional. People want to work with you because of who you are, not because of what you sell. And make sure to have that positioning strategy. Of course, work with nonprofits and charities as much as you possibly can. It's so important to show your values and what you're passionate for. So these are 9 tips to level up your business in 1 month. I own Charissa Lauren Collective. If you have any questions, please come to me. I also have a branding checklist that I will send out to each of you. And these are all of the things that you should have in place before you're considering taking your brand public. It's target audience, font palettes, brand colors, everything that you need. It's so important to make sure that your brand is visibly done well and targeted well before you take it to the news. Thank you, guys.
I'm super excited to introduce our next guest speaker. You might have seen her before. She does travel a lot. So straight from the backwoods of the bayous of Louisiana, our next speaker is an avid motorcycle riding grandma and serial entrepreneur with a love of storytelling. Dr. Elizabeth Clamon has been featured on NBC, ABC, Fox, and CBS, just to name a few. Though she admits she can't spell to save her life, she nonetheless is a multi-time #1 international best-selling author with a PhD in naturopathic medicine. Elizabeth is an expert storyteller and marriage coach, international speaker, founder of the Expert Storytellers Academy, and co-founder of Married by Design. She helps clients go from rough idea to finished story that wins people's hearts. She is a survivor of a traumatic, abusive childhood, chronic illness, and severe pain caused by multiple disabling auto accidents, one that left her bedridden for over 12 years. Her greatest joy now comes from traveling with her husband in their motorhome and spoiling her 6 grandchildren. Welcome, Dr. Elizabeth. How are you? And don't forget to unmute. I notice you're still muted.
Thank you for reminding me. That would be terrible for me to stand here and talk and move my lips and nobody hear me. That's just a terrible thing for a storyteller. I am so excited to be here with you guys today and so excited to be here for Up Your Energy. Are we up in our energy? Come on, we're supposed to be up in our energy. I am in Frozen, Texas today. So it took a lot for me to get my energy up to be here. Let me tell you today, and let me tell you the hardest part of me being here today is 10 minutes for a storyteller, because storytellers are all about words and 10 minutes is really hard to fit all our words in. So I want to talk to you today about the importance of storytelling in your business. 3 secrets of growing your business through storytelling. My first secret is how to make storytelling your secret weapon. And you can make storytelling your secret powerful weapon by sharing who you are in storytelling. Because clients want you to peel back the curtain and share a personal part of who you are. That's how they connect with you. That's how they get to know you. Just like my fellow PR people were talking about. They want to know who you are through lives, through speaking, through other avenues, your writing and your posts and everything you do. They want to know that connection with you. We're going to discover in a little bit how important that is in your business and in what you're promoting. So, you want to be your authentic self. You've got to be who you are. This is who I am every day, whether you see me here or you see me in Walmart or you see me walking down the road. I'm going to be Elizabeth. Don't call me Dr. Elizabeth. Just call me Elizabeth. That's who I am. You want to make a heartfelt connection, and you do that through stories. So I want to give you a brief example of that. And if you want to see more of an example of that, you can go to my YouTube channel and look up my video reel, or on any of my social media. Everything's under Elizabeth Clamon. My website is under construction right now, so you'll have to kind of work around to kind of find that. You can go to elizabethclamon.com. You can get on just one page of my website to find my speaker website. But allow me to share with you the story of my 12 years in bed. My family is a military family. And we love to travel and camp. Obviously, my husband and I, now retired, live in an RV, and we travel to speak and to do book signings and to talk with people all over the country. And we had one particular trip that would change my life and my family forever. We were traveling back from a camping trip in Kentucky, and we were coming into Michigan, which was our duty station at the time. And we crossed the line, and there was construction everywhere. If you know anything about the Midwest, they have 2 seasons, construction and winter, and we were deep in the middle of construction season. So we were traveling, and we had the semi truck in front of us that just did not get over. And he was supposed to shift into the left-hand lane, which was the right lane, and he just did not shift. And so we continued on for about 6 miles into Michigan. When he got to a bridge he didn't think he could clear, and he slammed on the brakes. He slammed those brakes on, and we could not stop with the camper behind us. So we slammed into the back of that truck. Our camper slammed into us, and the truck slammed in, and then my daughters, who were 16 and 18, slammed into the camper, and the camper hit us again. We were one big accordion crash, y'all. We were trapped in that Suburban. My husband had to kick the window out, pull my 11-year-old son out, take him to my daughters on the side of the road. He came back and excavated me from the car. Once we got to the hospital and the diagnoses started coming in from the doctors, my family was fine. Thank God. But I got my diagnosis 5 days on the cardiac ward because I had a broken sternum. We just saw the instance of this on the NFL here in America, where we had a football player who got hit in the sternum just right, and he had a heart attack. That's what could have happened to me. But because I got good medical care and I got watched for those 5 days, I was able to avoid that. But when I got home after that 5 days, at the ripe old age of 38, I was 100% disabled and bedridden for the next 12 years. I went to doctor after doctor after doctor, and they kept giving me medication after medication after medication, surgery after surgery after surgery. And by the 9th surgery, they could not control my pain. And I was going into shock. I was on such an obscene amount of medication that they could not give me enough to control my pain, because I was going to go into shock. And I was teeth shattering, shaking, sweating. And I had this moment of clarity. And I looked at my husband and I said, I am done. I will not let this be my legacy. This is not how it will end. I have a job and a purpose to empower women to tell their story and to get and to leave their story and leave their legacy. This will not be my legacy. And when I got home, I figured out how to get off that medication, and I figured out how to get back on my feet, one day at a time, one step at a time. And now I get to travel all over the world telling women how empowering it is to tell your story, how healing it is if you've been through trauma to tell your story. Whether you tell it from a stage, whether you write it in a notebook and leave it for your family, or you publish it in a book, or you write a chapter in an anthology, it gives you power over those things in your life that took your power from you. And it also helps you to cement yourself and your business in the minds of your clients. That is a powerful thing, because people don't remember your business. They might not remember your name, but they remember your story because they make a personal connection with you through your story. So once I got out of that bed and I started remembering back to storytelling, I remember the amazing stories my grandmother told. And I started telling stories. And stories started giving me the power to get up. Storytelling is phenomenal in your business because it connects people to you. Stories make a memorable impact, like I said. Stories inspire people to action like nothing else can. And isn't that what we want in our businesses? We want to move people to action. We want them to take an action. For me, I want them to feel inspired to tell their story, the story of their business, their own personal story, to heal their trauma. I want them to leave behind the legacy of their story. I don't want to see another woman leave this planet without leaving her story behind for those who follow her, because there are valuable lessons to learn. And they will get lost if she leaves this planet without leaving that story. Even if she records it on her cell phone for her kids to have after she's gone, that's fine, as long as she leaves that story for the people who come behind her. Story is a powerful tool, and story is a profitable marketing tool. Do you know that it takes 7 to 11 touches on social media for someone to purchase from your business? But if you meet them through an event, if you meet them through storytelling, through speaking, even if you're speaking at an event like this, people will look you up. People will seek you out. People will seek out your brand because they want to get to know you. They want to find out more about you. I had this just happen last week. I spoke at a live on Facebook in somebody's group, and I had 5 people reach out to me within an hour of speaking. That's the power of storytelling for your brand. And storytelling verbally, there's nothing else like it for your brand. Everybody can be a great storyteller. If you're not a great storyteller now, it only takes a few lessons to learn how to become a great storyteller. Expert storytellers can be made. They don't have to be born. But great storytellers are few and far between. But speakers are a dime a dozen. You can find a speaker anywhere. Great stories generate more leads. Great stories increase your sales. Great stories sell your products. Great stories make you unforgettable. Great stories move people to action. It's like Seth Godin says, marketing is no longer about the products you sell, but it's about the stories you tell. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Elizabeth. I appreciate it. You are an amazing storyteller. I hope everyone goes and checks out your YouTube channel. I watched it for myself and I learned so much. So I just want to thank you for joining us here today.
Thank you. I enjoyed it so much. Thanks, Adriana.